gonna make this intro very short because I know my other ones were very, very long. But this video here is, oh, hello, hi, welcome. I'm Coralie Rose Beauty. Hello, welcome. If you're new or returning, I appreciate you being here. Today's video is going to be the part that I spoke of earlier about my declutter pile and my maybe pile for my declutter series here recently. And we're gonna go through these items again and see where these certain items are going to end up. And I actually have a few more items that I added to these in the meantime because I was like, why am I holding on to all this stuff? So anyways, I'm going to flip you around, show you here what the piles look like, and then we're going to go through and determine where the final destination is for these palettes. So if you like this kind of content though, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below, turn on all notifications. Sorry I look a mess. Sorry, my lips are dry, but I've just been cleaning and we just put a new garbage disposal in. We installed it ourselves. It was actually pretty easy. Anyways, just a side note, but yeah, so I'm gonna show you this pile and we're gonna go through this and determine where all these products are really going to end up. So stay tuned. All right, this is just easier to do with my phone because I can move around a lot easier, but this is the pile. So again, some of this stuff is the declutter, some of it is the maybe pile, and some of it is in addition to the other stuff. So yeah, here we go. Yes, it continues. This is the stuff I've already tallied and accounted for the declutter. So I'm going to keep this stuff separate because I don't want it to get mixed up because I've already accounted for it. I'm logging everything and I don't want to have to re-log this stuff or count it again or whatever. So I already know where this stuff is going. It's being decluttered, giving to family, friends, and then selling whatever I can. So that has already been accounted for. So the main focus is going to be this stuff over here. So I'm going to put you on here in the regular camera and we are going to get started. So here we go. All right, I hope you can see everything okay here, but we're going to start just on this pile that's on the table. Then I've got some stuff that I showed you that's on the floor next to it, and then I'm going to show you real quick the stuff in the declutter boxes already, but like I said, this is just going to be easier to do it this way. So we'll start right here. I have the Melt Cosmetics 27 palette, but it's not actually the 27. It is a combination. I actually bought this off of a site before I was really into Melt, and just to try some of their stuff. And so it's got a combination of the 27, I think the 4 something, whatever palette that was. I'm trying to remember what other palettes are in here, but it is a combination. So I'm actually going to go ahead and declutter this one because again, I already have all the palettes now, so I don't need this in like a combination like this. Or what I might do is maybe take out the shadows, that way I can keep this palette itself and then be able to, you know, design my own palettes since they are magnetic and you can move the shadows around. I do appreciate that. So this is going to go in a technically declutter, but I might actually keep the palette, just the bones of the palette itself, you know what I mean, like the empty palette. So yeah. All right, this one I talked about before. It is Pinky Rose, the only Pinky Rose palette I think I have, and it's an 80s palette, and actually it's pretty. I think it is actually really pretty. So I am going to go ahead and keep this one, and I will keep it in, oh, and sorry, the maybe is also like the sentimental kind of palette too. So I've got my sentimental palette pile in here as well, which I think I forgot to mention. But yeah, so it's like technically 3 groups in one. So everything other than the stuff that I was absolutely keeping is in this. So again, this is going to stay, and I'm actually going to put it in my collection and see if I can go ahead and use it because it's actually pretty. All right, next we have Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. Although it's pretty, I already have any of these shades that I would want to use in this in other palettes, and this is just so big, and I like smaller palettes. And again, I think the one that I like the most is the Latte palette, and I could probably get rid of a lot of the other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter that one. All right, talked about this one already, but Revolution Beauty, the Friends palette. This is going to stay in my sentimental, just because I do love Friends, and it just takes me back to my teenage years. So yeah, so I'm keeping that one. All right, I have Carity Cosmetics, the Picante palette. I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this, declutter it. I'm not going to use that palette. I'm not really into warm tones. And if I want to try Carity Cosmetics another time, I'll just buy a different palette. So this one here is the Nomad Palette. I think this is the one that was actually controversial, the Shanghai Yin Yang palette. It's a really cool concept. But the fact that there is controversy around it, and I don't want to offend anyone, and I don't really know the full story behind it, but Again, I'm not going to use it on my channel because I can't, you know what I mean? I can't really show it to anybody or use it in that sense. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter that one. And then as well as this one from Nomad Cosmetics as well, the Orient Express. Again, just because I can't remember which one of these is the one, but again, just to be safe, I haven't used it. I mean, it's kind of a cool package, whatever, but I've got so many palettes, I'm just going to go ahead and let go. So that's being decluttered. I have Urban Decay Naked, a Smoky palette. It's actually a really pretty palette, but I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. I believe I got it used because I didn't know. I wanted to try it. It was really discounted. I think I got it off Mercari, and it's kind of dried up and not that good now. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of it. There's no point in keeping it. And I don't collect Urban Decay, so I just need to let this stuff go. I also have the Urban Decay Naked Cyber palette. I know this one was disappointing. Honestly, I think some of the shades are nice as like just topper shades, but the palette overall is not just a one and done. I feel like you do still have to really jump into other palettes to get like a decent look. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one because I have plenty of topper shades. Gosh, guys, I'm doing pretty good here. I'm pretty proud of myself. We have Perfusion, the Naturals palette. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one too. I have the one Perfusion palette that I really, really like that I've already shown. This is just really big. I mean, their quality is really good for the price. I mean, I think these are like $10 palettes. I don't know if they've increased price instead. I think I will keep the brush though. I actually really do like Perfusion brushes. They're really good. But yeah, I just need to let this go because I like smaller palettes. I've already determined that, and this is just going to sit there and collect dust. So I'm going to get rid of it. Keep the brush, but get rid of it, which actually let me do now before I forget. All right, so there we go. Declutter, there you go. All right, so next, oops, sorry, making a lot of noise here. Next we have Morphe, and this is the Stunning Vibes palette. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. If I'm gonna go into like a colorful palette, I'm either gonna reach for Colourpop in this size over Morphe or a lot of other palettes. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. We have Too Faced, the Chocolate Gold Bar. This is actually newer. I had one and got rid of it and then bought a new one because they had a major sale. It was like half off or so. So this is actually newer to me. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and keep this. All right, we have these little ones from Revolution Beauty. I think it's I Heart Revolution is what these are from. Yeah, so we have the Rose Gold Chocolate. Sorry, trying to make sure I keep you in. And again, they're cute little palettes, but I have these color stories over and over again. And this is the Hazelnut Cream palette. They're cute, and they're actually decent quality, but I'm not gonna reach for these over other palettes, so I'm gonna declutter those. All right, we have Too Faced Hot Buttered Rum palette. It's a cute little take on the go, petite palette. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. I actually like their small palettes like that. Fenty Beauty. I went back and I went back and forth about this one. We have the 3 and the 1, which is like your darker neutrals and your lighter neutrals. The quality is not good in this. It's time to just declutter. I don't know why I'm holding on to that. I'm not really into Fenty Beauty's shadows. I like her other stuff, but not really her eyeshadows. We have Wander Beauty. This is a cute little palette, but again, am I gonna pick this over my other palettes? No. And this is the Getaway palette. It's cute, but I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that as well. We have 2 here from Lovecraft Beauty. I don't know what they are. Let's see if it says what they are. I don't know. Maybe I'm just supposed to know by the picture, but I don't. Sorry. So I don't want to assume, but there's one of them. They're a pretty color story. So I actually think I'm going to hold on to these because I was actually impressed with their shimmer shadows, whatever formula they are. Those are actually really pretty, so I'm going to keep these. Violet Voss Violet Sunset palette. It is pretty. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this, and then when I do my next declutter in like the beginning of the year, some of this stuff I'm going to keep aside and see if I reach for it, see how I feel about it then, and then it'll probably get decluttered then if I don't declutter it before then. So Too Faced, this is the Sparkling Pineapple eyeshadow palette. I actually think this is really, really cute. I think this is one of those ones I'm going to keep for now, see how I feel about it when I do my next declutter in the beginning of the year, and that might end up going then. All right, we have Too Faced White Peach palette. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. There are a lot of lighter tones, and this isn't something I'm going to reach for on the regular, so I'm going to get rid of that one. That's being decluttered. And then we have the Palm Springs Dreams palette. Again, it's pretty, but am I going to reach for this over my other palettes? Probably not. So we're going to declutter that as well. And then any of my Colourpop, no matter how I feel about it right now, I'm going to keep these for now because I am going to do a full Colourpop video, maybe trying to rank my palettes, or at least like go through them and decide which ones I really want to keep and what I'm going to declutter, because there was a point where I was collecting Colourpop. Then I realized how ridiculous that was and how difficult that was. And I was like, yeah, forget that. Why am I doing this? So anyways, this is a Lizzie McGuire What Dreams Are Made Of palette. So again, all the Colourpop ones for now I am going to keep and do a separate video on those, and you'll be able to see where they actually end up. I have the Wine and Only. And again, I know I went through a lot of these, but somehow they ended up in this pile, I think because I was separating some of them. So I'm just going to quickly show you them. The Lit palette. Again, these are all Colourpop. Colourpop Double Entendre palette. It's actually really pretty. The Birdie palette. And again, I'm just going to quickly go through. I've already shown you Sailor Moon, so I'm not going to open that up again. Barbie. Again, these are all just staying in my, you know, till next time palette pile. Mulan, Garden, Variety. And yeah, sorry, these ended up just kind of in the mix here. I didn't mean to actually put these in here. Designer, Disney. So they're staying for now, to be determined later. All right, again, I do like these little palettes. So Too Faced, the Salty Caramel palette. I'm going to keep all of these. Too Faced, the Tickled Peach. I like this, yeah, I like these little ones. And then the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice, like the little mini palette of that. I think those are all really cute. And then one more is Shake Your Pom Poms. Yeah, I like the color stories on these. I think they're really, really cute, so I'm going to keep those. Steve Laurent, I think I've already talked about this one. I think I had maybe put it in my maybes, wasn't sure about it. Again, I'm going to put this in my till next declutter and see if I still feel the same, but I'm going to keep it for now because it is the only one from that brand. Makeup Geek. I think these are just some single shadows. I'm actually going to just get rid of these. I don't really like those. I like the new formulated ones. Actually, you know what? I don't even know if those are Makeup Geek. Those might be other shadows that are just in a Makeup Geek palette. So I'm going to see about those. I talked about these before. I'm going to put these, there's this one and this purple one. I'm going to put these in that, maybe in that pile to try till next time and just see. I want to get a little bit more thoughts on them because I kind of dissed these and I would just want to see how I really feel about them if I gave them enough of a chance. So I'm going to put this in my, you know, try and, you know, regroup pile, and we'll see next time. Now these again are in the Makeup Geek holders, but I don't know if these are actually Makeup Geek shadows. So I'm going to go through all those and determine where they're going to go, but most likely decluttered because those aren't singles that I reach for anyways. Ciate London, this is the Editor palette. I'm going to go ahead and declutter that. I don't reach, not that it's bad quality, but I don't reach for those. Revolution, Emily, the Emily Edit. Again, I'm just going to declutter, nothing against, but I'm just not a huge Revolution Beauty fan. And I know these were okay, but I didn't think they were all that great. And again, I just need to quit holding on to stuff that I'm not really going to reach for. Oh, dogs. Gotta love the dogs. Okay, hold on, intermission. Oh goodness, here they go howling. Sorry. All right, we are back. Just wanted to update you. I changed my mind. I'm just going to declutter both of these. I need to quit holding on to stuff. Time to let go. We have this from Butter London that I was trying to think about, and the color story is actually really pretty, but I'm like, have I even dug into this? I mean, it's cute. It's really pretty. It's a very like sophisticated look. I can't explain it, but those cool tones are really pretty. But again, I haven't even reached into this, so it's time to let go. So that's being decluttered as well. All right, so this is from MAC, and I know this for sure is a MAC palette because, yeah, it just is. I don't care for MAC eyeshadows. I don't think they're very good, so I'm going to declutter that. We have this one from Midas Cosmetics, Unveiled. I'm going to go ahead and let that go. Again, I need to quit holding on to this stuff. I don't really care for their formula. I didn't think it was that great. So this one here is Hank & Henry Living in Color, which I showed before. I mean, it's cute. But again, I'm only holding on to it because of this. So I'm still just going to keep this in the Nostalgic palette pile and we'll see. And then I've got these two from Milani, which again are the same reason I'm keeping these because nostalgia. So they're both shaped like CDs. So I think that's pretty. So I'm going to keep these in the Nostalgic palette pile as well. All right, and these are the same thing, which I've already shown you, so I'm not going to open them again, but we have the BH Cosmetics 2000s Remix Stance, the 90s Remix Stance, and the 80s Remix Stance. I'm actually going to put these in my to-use pile because I really do like BH Cosmetics. Love their formula, and I just love the theme of these. So I'm going to put these in my regular stash and finally get some use out of them. This one here is Blush Tribe. I know, again, I keep holding on to stuff for whatever reason. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I can't use it here on my channel. I'm not going to use it. I haven't used it since I got it because I got it, you know, I knew they were going out of business. So I went ahead and purchased it then, but I need to quit holding on to stuff for that, so I'm going to let go. We've got Morphe, the Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't know. I think I'll hold on to this one again just until my next declutter. And then I might let this one go as well. So we will see. This will be in my try later. Keep working on my thoughts on it. So, all right, we have some smaller palettes here. I have these little ones from Wet n Wild. See if I can find the names of them, because I accidentally took the label off of the one. So I think this one is Silent Treatment. It's pretty, and I think this one's the Walking on Eggshells, if I remember correctly. So I might keep this one and then declutter this one. So I think we'll do that. And then I might even get rid of that later because I think I have the other Walking on Eggshells one. This one here is another Wet n Wild Nude Awakening. I think I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. I think I have this in the updated version, so there's no need to have both. So I'm going to let that one go. We have the I Heart Revolution, the little Avocado palette. Again, it's cute. It's actually decent quality, but I have tons of greens that I would reach for before these, so I'm going to go ahead and let that one go. We have Too Faced and Natural Eyes palette. This is actually, I actually swatched this one. I was trying to figure these out, working on this last night, and it's actually really nice. They're buttery smooth. It's actually a really nice neutral palette, so I'm going to go hold on to this one for now. And again, maybe we'll put that in that, you know, to reassess pile and see if it still stands, or if I even looked at it, you know, between now and the next declutter. Some more from I Heart Revolution. These are the ones I told you got me because of what they're named. This one is Latte, you know, anything coffee themed. I'm like, oh yeah. And then this one is just, it says coffee. I thought I had a different name, but I must be thinking of a different one. So actually these are really good formula. So I'm actually going to hold on to these. Or you know what? Oh no, I kept the pumpkin spice one. So I'm actually going to let go of these ones because the pumpkin spice, I mean, that's the one I'm really like, ooh, you know. Elf, we have the new classics. I'm going to hold on to this one for now, but this might be in my next declutter. So we'll see. I have the Juvia's Place, the Nubian 2. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I don't know why I keep holding on to this stuff, but time to let it go. Ayo, Coralie. Oh, yeah. So I see they came out, Beauty Bay did another, sorry, this is Beauty Bay. I forgot to mention that, but I see Beauty Bay did another collab with this Coralie, whoever she is from, I think overseas, somewhere UK maybe, I don't know. But anyways, but yeah, so I probably will pick up those, and this is definitely going in my nostalgic, you know, got my name, can't let go of that one. So that one's a keeper. We have Midas Cosmetics Smoky Glow. This is one palette I am going to hold on to from Midas Cosmetics, and I think there's one other little one that I'm going to keep on to, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the rest. So I am going to keep that one actually. I already showed these ones, but I Heart Revolution, now that's what I call makeup. We have the 2000s and the 90s, and I actually do like these. I like the way they're set up. I think they're really cute. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, you know what? You know, if I'm honest, the BH Cosmetics is going to be better quality than these. So I think I'm going to go ahead and let these ones go. Yeah. Okay. See? I'm doing good. I'm doing it. All right. We have ABH, Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Carly Bible. I don't know. I just never really got into this palette. I think just the timing of when I got it. There were just so many other palettes I was, you know, had gotten. I don't know. So I'm going to keep this for now, and this might go with my next declutter. So we'll see. Melt, I already showed this one, but it said dual one, the 2-part. So I am going to keep this one because I do keep Melt palettes, but I might eventually at some point revisit that one. We'll see. We have Storybook Cosmetics, the Fairy Tales. Yeah, I think that's just what it's called. I'm going to get rid of this. I mean, it's cool. It's a cute concept, but that thing is just way too bulky. And I'm never going to reach into that. So it's time to let that go. Violet Voss, we have the HG palette. I think I'm going to finally let this one go. It's not one I've reached into for a long, long time. So Ofra and Samantha March, the Life's a Draft palette. I am going to go ahead and keep this one. Love Samantha. So we have Violet Voss, the Flamingo eyeshadow palette. Just because I have a lot more colorful eyeshadow palettes than I did at this time when I bought these, and the See You Later palette, I think I'm going to go ahead and let those go. I think the ones I have from Violet Voss that I'm going to keep are good and plenty. So we have ABH Norvina. This is the volume 2, I think. Yeah, volume 2. I'm going to go ahead and keep these for now because these are very, very pigmented, and they have just about every color you could think of under the sun. So yeah. So I'm going to keep these and then just see how much use I get over maybe the next few months. Maybe that next declutter, we'll see. But my favorite palettes are the 1, 4, and 5 are my favorite of these. Sorry, I'm trying to get that to fit back in there. But yeah, so I'm going to keep them for now. We'll revisit that. And then we have the Morphe Fall Into Frost 35F. This is the one Morphe other than the Jaclyn Hill that I am going to keep. I do like that color story. I think that's really, really pretty. And again, this was kind of in the very start of my makeup journey. So yeah, it's going to go in this nostalgic. My nostalgic pile is getting smaller though. You should be proud of me. Should be proud. We have Dose of Colors, and I think it's I Love Sarah Ai something. I don't know. I can't read, and I wasn't into makeup when this like came along, so I don't really have the reference. I'm gonna declutter this one. It's kind of dry and it's older, and it's just time to let that one go. So I like the Friendcation palette, the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette, but that one I'm just, yeah, it's just dry. It's not working the same. Sorry, my palette's about to fall over. I'm trying to keep it. This is the Small Midas Cosmetics one I was talking about. It is volume 2, is just what it says. I really do like this color story. So there is something about that one. I am going to keep that one. We have Real Her 2 Shadow Palette, Do Your Squats. Again, I mean, it's cute, nice color story, but again, this is when I was first starting off with makeup. I mean, I like the concept of the company, but I'm going to declutter that one. I'm not going to reach for that over my other ones. Then I have Mented Cosmetics, the Everyday Eyeshadow Palette. I'm going to declutter this one. It's just too warm for me. It's too warm toned. It's not a bad palette or formula, but it's just too warm toned for my likes. Ace Beauté Vintage Dawn. I'm going to keep this for now. I'm going to keep all my Ace Beauté, and these might be something I revisit later on, is Scarlet Dusk. And then I might, you know, dwindle those down a little bit as well at some point here. All right, we already talked about Urban Decay Prints. I'm definitely going to keep that in my nostalgic. We have Naked, the Urban Decay Naked Cherry Palette. This might end up being decluttered at some point too, but I am going to keep it for now. We have Lorac Pro. I'm going to keep those for now. They're actually newer. I forgot. I don't know why I was thinking they were older, but they're actually newer. I bought these maybe 2 years ago, so it was way past the time they actually came out. And then more of the Pro. So I'm going to keep all of these for now. I do like this formula, so I'm going to keep those. Urban Decay Naked. I actually got this later on as well. I didn't get it when it first came out, so this might be 3.5 years old, I think. Maybe that's when I got it. So it still actually works okay. So I'm going to keep it and then I'll revisit, and then I might declutter it at some point. Same here with the Naked 2. I got this a lot later than when it first, you know, like when it was actually launched. So this might be 2.5 years old, maybe 3 now. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that one for now as well. So Midas Cosmetics Unveiled Berry Nude. Maybe that's what that says. I'm going to go ahead and declutter that one. Urban Decay Born to Run. I'm going to keep this one for now, but that might be in my next declutter. We have, I think, Folklore. This is the Prague. I am going to keep this for now, maybe revisit that one. That might be decluttered eventually too. Then I have Millennial Beauty. I swatched this one last night and I was looking at it and I was like, nah, I don't like either of these. And this is Millennial Beauty as well. Cookies palette. It's okay. I just didn't think the quality was that great, so I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of those. We have the Tarte. This is the Busy Gal Goals palette. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I don't know why I'm holding on to these. Time to let go. We have Black Moon, the Black Metal Volume 1 palette. I swatched this last night. It was very underwhelming as well. It's time to let that go. And then I have Elf, the Opposites Attract palette. I'm going to go ahead and declutter that as well. Touch and Soul Philip Orange palette. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. Again, I don't know why I keep holding on to this stuff, like why I let it go. Anastasia Beverly Hills Ambreezy palette. I didn't really get into this one that much either, but I wasn't all into that much color at the time I got this either, so I'm gonna keep it for now, but again, that might be one I revisit. And then the Naked 3 I got a lot later as well. This might be 3 years old now. It's so light. It's such a light color story. And now that I have, I think this is this the one that has Sin in it, or must be the other one? Yeah, no. Okay, I was hoping maybe this is the one that had that shade Sin in it that I have the mini palette for, but no, I'm gonna keep this for now. But again, we're gonna revisit Urban Decay, Anastasia, all those ones. Too Faced, we're gonna revisit those again. This is the Melt Cosmetics, the original Gemini, like the original Gemini before they discontinued it and before it came back. I'm curious now. I want to see if the formula has changed at all. So I'm definitely going to keep this one for now and compare it to the new one to see if there's any changes. So we're going to see. I'm going to keep that though for now. Urban Decay, the other Prince palette, keeping that for nostalgic purposes. But Laura Lee Nudie Patootie, I was swatching this one last night and they're dry. These underperform. I don't know if it's just the palette because I did get this used off of Mercari. So I don't know if I just got a bad old palette. I don't know, but I'm going to declutter it. I'm sure it's still available on her site. So if I ever want to repurchase and try a better one, then I can. Beauty Bakery, Proof is in the Pudding. I think I'm going to declutter this one. I like the other one. I kept the Breakfast in Bed or whatever it's called. It's more cooler toned. This of course is more warm toned. It's not a bad palette, but again, I do prefer cooler, neutral to cool tones more than I do like warm tones. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter that one. Not a bad formula though. It's not based on formula, just color story. Oh, Milani. I kept trying to hold on to these ones too. We have the Bold Obsessions. Yeah, I'm going to declutter. I don't know why I keep holding on to these. Pure Passion. Probably going to declutter that one too. And then Soft and Sultry, of any of them, I might keep. Yeah, I think I'll keep this one because I do like those tones. I really, again, that neutral, cool. Yeah, that gets me. So I'm going to keep that one and declutter the other ones. Alter Ego. We have the Aurora. We have the Blooms, which are all dupes. And then the Canyon, which I've already talked about all these. So I am going to keep these for now, but they might be decluttered the next round. Nothing against, but I'm not going to reach for the dupes. I'm going to reach, I have the real palettes, so I'm going to reach for those before I reach for dupes. I mean, quite honestly. Smashbox, I think this is the only palette I have, and I'm going to keep this one because it is the only one, but I'm not a huge Smashbox eyeshadow fan. I don't think they're that great. So I'm going to put them in the pile to test for next time. Buxom Ash K. Holm palette. It is okay. It's not a bad palette per se, but I'm not going to reach for this before I reach for my other palettes. So I'm going to put that in the declutter. Time to go. Then I was going back forth about these ones. The Zoeva Caramel Melange palette. And then the Cocoa Blend palette. I think I'm going to keep the Cocoa Blend and get rid of the caramel again based on color story. They're okay. I mean, they're not the best eyeshadows I've ever worked with, but they're more of like a satin formula. Not bad. But I'm going to put that in the, test till next time and see how I feel about it then. We have Too Faced, a Chocolate Bonbons palette. This is cute. I actually might see if my daughter wants this one. Not that it's bad or anything, but I mean, I don't know. It's just not something I'm going to reach into over other stuff I have. So I'm going to put that in the declutter and see if my daughter wants it. And then Too Faced Sweet Peach. I'm going to put this in the maybe till next time, till my next declutter, like that one pile I have in, and just see how I feel about that in the future. All right, I'm just going to get the Colourpop ones out of here because I've already explained. I'm going to keep those and do a full Colourpop video and then determine if I'm going to keep those or not, which ones I'm keeping or not. So I'm going to put that in there for now. This is ZC. This is the Fireworks 16 color eyeshadow, number 10, whatever all that means. I think I'm going to declutter this. Yeah, I'm not going to use it. It's pretty packaging, but my daughter might actually like that because it's cute. So I might give that to her. I've got Beauty Creations Cali Chic palette. Not a bad palette, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this. And I think I'm getting rid of the rest of my Beauty Creations palettes. So I think that's going to be the only one I keep. All right, we have another I Heart Revolution, the Pistachio Cream. Not a bad little palette, but again, I'm just going to declutter these because again, I'm not going to reach for those over my other palettes. I just have to remind myself of that. Zoeva, this is the On Taupe, I think it's called On Taupe palette. I am going to keep this one because I like the tones of this one. Again, those cooler tones, they get me every time. So I'm definitely going to keep this one, and then the Cocoa one, we'll reassess those for the next round and see if they still stand. Cab Cosmetics. I'm going to keep this one because it reminds me of Huda Beauty, the Rose palette, whatever that was called. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I don't have that palette and it kind of gives me those vibes. So I'm going to keep that for now. We'll revisit that one for then too. SpongeBob Hip Dot. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. I think my daughter might actually like that one, think it's cute. So see if she wants it. If not, I'll just declutter it, get rid of it. But this is that KVD Beauty one that I was talking about before. I always forget the name of it. Edge of Reality. I'm keeping one of these, but like I explained, I accidentally had two of them. So I'm going to put it in the pile to check to see where the other one is and see which one is newer and which I'm going to keep. Pixie by Petra. I don't know, I keep holding on to these. They're actually not a bad formula, but I'm like, am I going to reach for these before I reach for my other ones? And in this one, the shadow started coming loose, so I have to be really careful. Started breaking on that last one. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter these. I just keep holding on to stuff. I'm like, why? Why am I doing this to myself? All right, another Folklore. This is a Turkey palette. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this, and I'm actually going to give this to my daughter. She actually really likes glitter, and this whole top shade here is just a bunch of like big fleck glitter that I'm never going to use. So I'm going to declutter that and give that to my daughter. We have Elf, J Kissa. Again, I'm not going to open these ones up because I've already shown you, but I think I'm going to, I don't know, I'm going to keep this one and just revisit for next because I know it's DC'd, it's discontinued, so we'll see. I have Elfie Retro Paradise palette. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I'm going to reach into other colorful palettes before I reach into that. So Violet Voss, Like a Boss. I think it's time to let go of these. So I'm going to declutter this. Hashtag. I'm going to go ahead and declutter those. I need to let go. Iconic London. This is the Sunset to Sunrise palette. Not a bad palette. And then this one is the nude one, the Day to Slay. I keep going back and forth about these, but not bad formulas, but they're just palettes I'm not going to reach for over my other ones. So it's time to declutter. I'm gonna let them go. And then Morphe, the 35G Bronze Goals palette. I'm definitely gonna declutter this. Number one, I'm just not into the warmer tones as much. And I'm not into Morphe, so there's 2 factors already, and it's so big. There's the 3rd factor, time to let it go. Yeah, there we go. And then I've got more of the Colourpop. So again, just a bunch of these little plastic 9 pans. Again, they're gonna go to the side. I'm not even gonna show you those right now because again, that's gonna be a whole separate video. Oh, and we got more Colourpop. Oh Lord, okay. Yeah, so video to come. More Colourpop, yep, gonna go. Oops, trying to make sure I don't knock over my palettes. Oh God. Come on, big pile. All right, so this Hip Dot Kesha Rose ended up in the pile again here. I'm like, I mean, it's cute and all, but honestly, this packaging, I mean, it's cute, but I'm gonna see if my daughter wants that, so I'm gonna declutter that. Not a bad palette actually, but I'm like, This is that other Beauty Creations, the Mini Pro palette. I think I'm gonna declutter this. I kept that other one, the Cali whatever, that is more my type, so I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna get rid of this Ofra one. It is the new Solstice palette, so give that to somebody. We've got the Focallure Sunrise, which is a dupe for Huda Beauty's New Nudes, whatever it's called. And then Cash Beauty Crystal Nights. I don't even know why I got this one or where I got it from. Might have been Beauty Bay actually. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one. It's not even that great a formula. No need to hold on to it. Tarte. We have the Sizzle palette. I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter that one. Cute packaging, but we have the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. I'm going to declutter this one. The formula is kind of dry and yucky right now, so I don't know if it's just old. I don't know what happened, but and then we have Makeup Forever, the I don't know, just this palette 9 Artist Shadow. That's weird, whatever. But I'm going to declutter that one. Formula's not even that good. I think it's just dried out, but and then Perfusion, the Jurassic World one. I think I'm going to give this one to my daughter. Again, she likes glitters, so I'm going to see if she would like that. So I'm going to declutter that, and it'll still be in the family. So if I really want to be like, oh, you know, have, you know, warm fuzzy feelings, I can go see my daughter and go look at it. Oh yeah, I'm a mess, I know. C Color, we have the Nightfall. This is another, I think this is actually really a dupe for that. Rose, whatever one from Huda Beauty. So I'm going to keep this one, again, just because I don't have that palette. So we have Alter Ego Daydream. I think of any dupe of the Huda Beauty New Nudes, this is definitely the best one. So I'm going to keep that one. We have OPV Beauty. The Spotlight palette is my only OPV Beauty, and I really do want to test them out a little bit more. So I'm going to put that in my pile to see how I feel for the next round. And then we have Iconic Beauty Hollywood palette. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one because I think it's the same thing. It gives me those Rose Huda Beauty vibes, and I don't need all those. This is Peachy Queen, I believe. Yeah. So I've already shown you the palette, so I'm not going to open them up again, but I'm going to go ahead and declutter both of these. I wasn't that impressed with the formula. The only Peachy Queen one I'm keeping is that cute little Tiffany's palette that was like a green and like more cool tone palette, you know. All right, so that is it for the first part. Now I'm going to pull out the boxes and we're going to go through that stuff. So hang tight. Be right back. All right, so once again, just want to show you some of these that I'm decluttering. This is a little one from Now Unearthly Cosmetics called Wild Palette, getting rid of that. We have Midas Cosmetics, the Genesis palette, which I already showed you, getting rid of that. Hip Dot C-Note palette, gonna get rid of that. Just not a color story I'm gonna reach for. Colored Rain, this is that Vivid palette, gonna get rid of that. Sorry, hopefully I've been in frame. I apologize if I haven't, just in case. I'm gonna start over with these just in case. So we have the Wild palette, Unearthly Cosmetics, getting rid of that. Colored Rain, Wild Pigmented and Pigments and Shadows, getting rid of that. Hip Dot C-Note, getting rid of that. These are just all color stories I'm not going to reach for. Genesis from Midas Cosmetics. Beauty Bay, Bright palette, going to get rid of that. Again, just not stuff I'm going to reach for. BH Cosmetics Nice palette, getting rid of that one. Keeping the Big Naughty palette, but getting rid of that one. Essence Daily Dose of Love palette, getting rid of this. We have Zoeva, Spice of Life, the Premier palette, getting rid of both of those. Violet Voss, the Rainbow palette, getting rid of that. Some more Zoeva Blanc Fusion palette, getting rid of this. Some of them I have a sleeve, some of them I don't. It's way too light, getting rid of that. I don't even know why about that one. Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Thunder, get rid of that. Revolution Beauty, this is that bright one, Reloaded. Your Euphoria palette, getting rid of that. Spectrum by Perfusion, getting rid of that. BH Cosmetics Lunar New Year, getting rid of that. Again, most of these are based on Color Story. Revolution, Forever Flawless, Birds of Paradise, getting rid of that. Wet n Wild, Rose in the Air, getting rid of that. Sorry, you can kind of see the Color Story good enough. Ulta Beauty, these are the same thing. Little palettes, getting rid of those. The Revolution XX, this is the Experience palette, getting rid of this. Some more small palettes, Pure and Trolls. Didn't really care for that palette, getting rid of that. Makeup Geek, little one, and getting rid of that. ABH Norvina, the mini palettes, getting rid of both of these. The BH Cosmetics Peridot, just not a Color Story I'm drawn to. It's not a bad palette. Ofra, I already told you how I feel about Ofra. I just don't really care for their formula. But we've got the Signature palette, Exquisite Eyes, and then Sweet Dreams. So I know people that would like those and get use out of those. Ofra, this is that Glitch 2000. I just don't think their formula is that great. Juvia's Place is Saharan 2, just too dark for me. Not going to use that, so getting rid of that. Makeup Geek, another little quad. It's actually a nice little like neutral quad, but I think I have most of these colors. If not, I have similar enough. And then Violet Voss Essentials palette, getting rid of that. Smashbox, Cover Shot Nova Eye palette. Sorry, my husband just came home, so if you're hearing noise. Revolution, the XX. This is the Tuxedo palette. These are actually not bad palettes, but again, I'm not going to reach for these before I reach for my other palettes. We have the Vortex. Not bad, but just not my Color Stories. And then Passion Luxe. Oops. Yeah, just again, not for me. And then Be Perfect Carnival palette, just too big for my liking. All right, so that's it for that box. All right, got some more here. So we're going to go through these. Oh, goodness. Morphe, So Iconic, Definite Declutter, Morphe Printed Desert, Definite Declutter. Smoke Show I'd already shown, I'm decluttering that one. This is that other KVD, the Edge of Reality. So again, I just have to see which one is better. I think this one actually might be the newer one, so probably end up keeping that one. But Be Beauty Barbarella palette, definitely get rid of that. You Can Be, Twilight Dusk. I think these are both Twilight Dusk. Oh, Dusk and Twilight, wait, no. Oh, they both the same. I don't know why they look different, but definitely getting rid of both of those regardless, whatever. Revolution, Forever Flawless, Optimum palette, get rid of that. The Beauty Creations Mini Pro palettes, Volume 3. I'm sorry, can you see that? Volume 3, and then Volume 1. Getting rid of both of those. Urban Decay, On the Run, Shortcut, On the Run Shortcut, and then On the Run Detour. Get rid of those. Another Morphe, Oh My Gorge. Get rid of that. Revolution, Forever Flawless, Enchanted. It's actually a pretty Color Story, but yep, getting rid of it. Oh, just stuck my finger in it. Well, that's awesome. Push that down. BH Cosmetics Fairy Lights that I just dug my finger into. Definitely get rid of that. Ooh, clean off my finger or get anything else dirty. And again, sorry, going through this very quick because you've already seen all this. I've just got to get it out of the way and just kind of show you the final. Violet Voss, whatever mini little palette, came in like a BoxyCharm, I think, or something. Laura Lee, Party Animal, not my Color Story. That's definitely going. If I did want those colors, I would go for other palettes. So Pure, this is that one I showed you. Definitely getting rid of that. I don't care what these other ones are. I've got plenty of blushes and highlighters and all the other stuff, so I don't need it. Sea Colors Sundown, decluttering that. Oh, I didn't mean to put these Colourpop ones in here, but those are, again, going separate because I'm going through all of these, including these little quads, all these tons of quads that I have. Going through those and definitely gonna, you know, bring those down a little bit because I have way too many. Tarte Whitney Simmons palette. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I don't need these. I've got plenty of stuff I need to quit hoarding. Pat McGrath, I already showed this one with the broken shadows. So that one's definitely being decluttered because it's broken and I have a replacement already, so I don't need it. I have Colored Rain, Juicy Boost. Not a bad palette, but if I'm going to reach into color, I have other palettes that I'd reach in before I reach into that, so that's going. ZC, this is that other one I got, the British Museum. Again, I just didn't think the quality was that great. It's got pressed glitters in there. It's just not my thing. I think my daughter actually saw this and liked it, so if she wants it, I'm going to give it to her. I think she just liked the design of the palette, but anyways. RMS Beauty, I already showed you that. That's going to go to my friend Going Coconuts. I've already got a friend at work I'm giving that to, so those are definitely going. Oh, shoot. More Colourpop. Again, those 5 pans. Have to go through all those here soon. Elf, I'm going to see if my friend wants this one too. It's just that additional one I had of the bite-sized cream and sugar. So I'm gonna give that to my friend at work too. We have Inside the Alva. This was just an extra one I had. I have another one of these, so I'm getting rid of that because of that. Nothing wrong with it. I love Inside, and I actually ordered the 2 new holiday palettes, the Christmas and Christmas Eve palettes. Just placed my order on those, so those will be coming hopefully in the next couple weeks. So BH Cosmetics, the Sugar Cone palette. I'm gonna go declutter that one because I have so many of those type of palettes. Be Perfect Carnival palette. I kind of went back and forth because I don't really have anything from Be Perfect, but I'm sure there's a reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. Don't need all this. Another Ofra. This is the Secret Garden palette. Gonna go ahead and declutter that one. Midas Cosmetics Perception. Still gonna get rid of that one. Ofra, good to go. Still gonna get rid of that one. Oh, these from Revolution, the Nightmare Before Christmas Tim Burton's. My daughter actually claimed these and wanted these, so I'm gonna get, I think that shadow finally just, oh no, I guess it's still, I gotta get my glue. I keep forgetting I wanted to glue that back in there, so I'm gonna glue that back in there before I give it to her, but my daughter wanted these, so I'm gonna give her these Tim Burton ones from Revolution. So those are going to her. We have Violet Voss Coral Crush, not my color story, good formula, but getting rid of that. Saved by the Bell, this one's broken, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Throw that in the trash, I guess, or see if anybody wants it. Hip Dot, Glitter Deco. My daughter just recently told me she likes glitters, so I'm gonna give her this. So that's going to my other daughter. And then this Nabla little glitter palette, I'm gonna give that to her as well, see if she wants that. We got more Colourpop. This one's actually broken, barely staying together, so guess that one's going. I threw that one away. I guess I didn't, but My Lucky Charm from Wet n Wild, it's broken. That's supposed to go in the trash. Oh, I think I just kept it so I could show it for my final, but yeah, that's going in the trash because it's completely broken up. More of these Colourpop 5 pans. Those are going in my Colourpop video, so those stay until I go through that. Another quad, another Colourpop quad going in there. LA Girl, iLux, that I might give to my friend, see if she wants that because it's nice and neutral. Figure those little palettes are just nice to give anyways. Another Urban Decay On the Run Bailout. Get rid of that. All right, trying to make sure I don't go through the same ones over and over again. Elf, Jen Atkin, again, like I explained, it's just too dark. It's the deeper one. The light one was gone by the time I went to get it. So BH Cosmetics Opalescent. Nice palette, but just too many of the same tones. Eloise, the Queen. Yeah, this was a BoxyCharm. Yeah, no, not that great a quality. That one's going. Juvia's Place, the Masquerade Mini. Just not a color story. It just doesn't draw my eye. I mean, it's got some pretty colors, but I'm not going to reach for that, so I'm going to get rid of that one. The Tri Palette, Juvia's Place, again, another one I'm just not going to reach for, so I'm going to give that one away too. Then this is that the Beauty Crop one, Stargazing Palette, just too warm toned, and then a bunch of glitters that I'm not going to reach for, so getting rid of that. Ooh, we're getting there, guys. Almost there. Then we have XX Revolution, a Visionary palette. Again, I just have so many of those types of tones, getting rid of that. Studio Makeup, whatever, getting rid of that. Violet Voss Tie-Dye 4, gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I have plenty of nice, you know, colorful palettes now. I don't need that. Revolution, Precious Stone, the Diamond palette. I think my daughter actually wanted 1 or 2 of these, so I'm gonna give these to her. And then the Rose Quartz. They're pretty, and these are actually nice. These in the middle here are really, really nice metallic shades. But again, just don't need them. I just have so many. BH Cosmetics, this is the Sylvia Gani palette, getting rid of that. This is that Made by Mitchell. It is the Head in the Clouds. I think I'm gonna go ahead, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I've got plenty of other colorful, it's not a bad formula actually though, it's just, I have other colorful ones I've reached for. We have, what is it, Black Moon? Is that what it's called? I think Black Moon Cosmetics, Urban Myth. I think I'm going to keep this one. I got rid of the other one. I actually like this one better, so I'm going to keep this one actually, so that's going to stay with me. Violet Voss, the Matte Vibes. Again, just don't like the tones. It's not bad quality, just not my color story. Ugh. Yeah, you already know I'm getting rid of this one. Jeffree Star and Androgyny, I think is what it's called. We have BH Cosmetics Sweet Street Cotton Candy. Just not my color story. I mean, I like purples and pinks, but I'm just not going to reach for this over my other purple and pink palettes, so get rid of that one. My pile's falling over. Oh. Milani. I keep trying to hold on to these, time to let them go. We've got the Everyday Eyes. We've got the, oh, they're both Everyday Eyes. Romantic Mattes. And then the Basic Mattes. I'm gonna get rid of both of those. And then the Must Have Metallics. These are actually nice metallics. But again, I'm not gonna reach for those before I reach for my other palettes. It's just how it is. And then I think our last little bit here, and then we're done. All right, Makeup Geek in the nudes. Again, they reformulated and they're no longer in business, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. Juvia's Place Afrique. It's very, very pretty, but again, just not a color story I'm going to reach for. See if my daughters want that. The Festival, Juvia's Place. Again, just one I'm not going to reach into. Tarte Pro. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. I have other Tarte palettes, and, you know, over the other ones I have, I'm not going to reach for that one. Beauty Bay, Nude, Nude, Nude. Just too many of the same colors, types of colors. And, I mean, I like nudes, but I'm going to keep that little small 9-pan one that I have that's similar. Elf Rose Gold, get rid of that. Lime Crime, like I've already explained, it's just not really my vibe. This is Prelude Chroma. I'm keeping the one that's the nude one. I am going to keep that one that is the one I'm keeping. And then Venus 3. And not that they're bad, but it's just they're so bulky and just not ones I'm going to reach for. Whew. All right, guys, I think that is it. I'm going to tally these up and I'll let you know how many we decluttered. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so here we are. This is Declutter. That is the one that I did decide to keep. So just wanted to show you that before I move it out of the way. Declutter. All those there. This is my maybe bin that I'm going to reassess, like see if I wear any of that or how I feel in a few months when I declutter. And then my Colourpop that I still have to go through. So that's all the stuff. That's either going or maybe. And I'll give you the totals here in just a second. All right, so out of these piles, the declutter, we've got a total of 183. So again, that's all that's on the top there other than that one Urban Myth palette. The maybe is 48 to reassess for later. And then these Colourpop ones that I have to go through again are 55. So those are all the palettes there that are definitely going, maybe going, and then reassess with Colourpop when I do my full collection video. So, all right, guys. Yeah, so hold on a second. Let me remember what the other total was, and I can tell you where we are. All right, so based on these totals with what everything you see here, minus all of this stuff here, my total collection would be at 751. If you're only counting what I've decluttered so far, and we count the maybe in Colourpop, we're at 854. And then if we take the declutter and the maybe, we're at 806. So, and then like I said, but with the Colourpop and everything else, it's 751. So if I were to declutter all of this stuff here, my total collection would be at 751. Now, again, take into consideration, there's new stuff coming in all the time. So this is only factoring in what I had been working on decluttering at this point in time. But yeah, so again, that would be where we are with just the declutter, 854. So I'm decluttering 183 palettes for sure. And then maybe 48 more. So yeah, so thank you for hanging in here. I hope you enjoyed this small declutter, more of just a, you know, eyeshadow collection review kind of thing. So hope that was enjoyable. But again, there will be more to come. And in that one, we will definitely be decluttering more because I've got to get this down. This is just insane. And I just can't keep up with all of this. So let me know what you think down below. Do you see any of these palettes in here that you would be like, no, I want to keep these, or no, definitely declutter? I'd love to know. So let me know what you think down below. But otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Turn on all notifications. Otherwise, have a wonderful day, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Bye. And here I was worried about what I was going to do with my makeup. And here my daughters are going through my collection, shopping my stash in true home fashion. Love it.